Let's talk about Meghan's sparkling wine and the champagne controversy and what the law actually says. Now, the reason I'm addressing this is because I've seen some rumblings from trolls, derangers, and haters who are threatening to report her. And it's laughable because, number one, I do have some inside knowledge around champagne. And number two, I have never seen a bunch of people get things so loudly and stupidly wrong. So when Meghan's lifestyle brand, as ever, released its first holiday collection in 2025, just a couple of months ago or thereabouts, it included more than candles and jams. One of the headliners was a sleek, matte black bottle of sparkling wine labeled 2021 Vintage Napa Valley Brut. Please note that because this will become very important. The wine is described as elegant and crisp and made with Chardonnay and Pinot Noir grapes using the traditional bottle-fermented method known as méthode champenoise. And please excuse my pronunciation because I know I just butchered that French. The branding is very high-end, the flavors are fresh and complex, and the packaging flawless as usual. But then came the internet rumors that isn't she breaking the law by calling it champagne? Some even claimed that they were reporting her for brand violation, especially the international trademark law. And the story spread quickly, but the facts, as usual, tell a different story. So let me break it down very clearly and very simply. So the wine in question is part of As Ever's debut holiday drop. The full name, and I'll repeat it again, is 2021 Vintage Napa Valley Brut. And it's made in California. It's a traditional sparkling wine, not unlike champagne, using the same method the French have used for centuries. This is where the wine goes a second fermentation in the bottle to create the signature bubbles. Now, when I did my MBA, 25 years ago or thereabouts, I did my MBA. And as part of that MBA course, we were taken over to the Champagne region and we stayed there for a while and we learned about how champagne was made. And we visited two houses. One was a traditional house, an old house, Bollinger or Bollinger, if I remember the proper French pronunciation correctly. And the other house was Nicolas Freyat. And we were shown the difference between a house that is very old, using traditional methods, and a house that is quite young in those days, using modern techniques. So I learned a bit about champagne. And obviously, we learned about the role of women in creating certain processes, etc. And Madame Bollinger was famous for discovering a process called riddling, which got rid of the yeast after the second fermentation. So again, I'm surprised I remember that this much. But the bottle that Meghan produced never claimed to be champagne. Instead, it actually highlights the Napa Valley origin right on the label. So on the label, it says, it's labeled Vintage Napa Valley Brut. It uses the term méthode champenoise, which simply describes how the wine was made, not where it's from. Now, let's talk about the champagne law, because this is the exciting bit for me, because I remember when we visited the region in those days, this was a big topic. It was a big topic in France, and I remember it so well. So in the EU, in the European Union, champagne is a legally protected geographical indication known as a PDO, Protected Designation of Origin. That means that only sparkling wine made in the Champagne region of France, following strict production rules, can legally use the word champagne on the label. This is similar to how only cured meats from Parma can be called prosciutto di Parma, or how only blue cheese from Roquefort can only be called Roquefort. Yeah, right? The idea is simple. Names are tied to a specific region that only should apply to authentic products from that region. Very clear, very simple. So yes, in Europe and in the UK, if a sparkling wine from California labeled itself champagne, it would be in violation of the law. But Meghan's wine does not do that. I'm going to say it again for people in the back. Meghan's wine does not do that. Now, let's now talk about the US. The US doesn't treat the word champagne the same way that the EU does or Europe does. Historically, many American winemakers use the word generically to refer to sparkling wine. Over time, the US agreed to phase out the use of the word champagne for new labels, although a few older brands like Corbel were grandfathered in because they always use that. So they thought, okay, you know what? We will let older labels still use the word champagne in the US. So they now use the term California champagne. Today, no new American wine labels can legally use the word champagne, and that include Meghan's. And crucially, as Eva's wine label does not use it, it says Napa Valley Brut, not champagne. Even the phrase méthode champenoise, while it may be frowned upon by some EU authorities, is still allowed on American wine labels. US wine regulations haven't banned it, and several Californian sparkling wines still use it to describe their production method. So while it may raise eyebrows among maybe the French and maybe some wine purists, it's not illegal under American law. So there you have it. I might do a part 2 because sometimes I feel some messages need to be repeated for some people in the back who are determined to see everything that Meghan does as wrong. Now, people forget that Meghan is a researcher. She's got legal team. She's been advised by some of the best minds on the planet. So why you think reporting her will result in anything, I do not know. So I wish you put as much energy into bettering your own lives than you do trying to report Meghan for imaginary infractions. But anyway, that's endeth my lesson for today. I'll probably do a part 2. My name's Elizabeth. I'm the author of the Luxpreneur. And for more insights like these, please like, share, comment, and follow me.